listeners, and thank you for listening to our banter. So you're gonna talk about honesty?
Well, I want to talk about honesty, and we're talking about honesty in relationships. We were talking about being honest with your children when you're having the drug talk, when you're talking to them about drugs. We still didn't come up with an age or how that should start, how that should get started, and I'm not sure I have an answer. I think when the question comes, you answer it. I don't know if you have to initiate it, because most of the time children these days are precocious enough to ask what they want to hear without waiting. You know, they'll ask questions, and I think any question that comes up should be answered in one form or another. Now, how much honesty you owe them is another thing. We don't have to give them minute by minute. But I think it's foolish to try and hide anything that you think was a mistake in your past, because they can only learn from it.
Yeah, but I'm finding that more and more young people are sneaking. They're sneaking
Young
things.
people have always been sneaks. Young people have always been sneaks. Old people too. But
And parents don't always find out until there's a crisis. When they get busted or something.
well, then how do you keep track of it without being one of those helicopter parents that breaks into your children's privacy and doesn't let them become individuals on their own, tries to form and shape every idea and every thought process that they have.
Well, I think the dinner table conversations that we always had, and things come up, kids spill out stuff without even realizing it. When you're sitting around the table talking, you can even bring up a subject and see what is their reaction.
And just remember that coming from your children, no information is too much information. It can work the other way, coming from you to them, but nothing. They shouldn't be afraid to say anything. They should be allowed to say everything, so that you know everything and can deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't deal with what's hidden. And there needs to be. You hope, as parents, you could be as transparent as possible in the kids with their mother and father.
But you said that
They have to have confidence that they could tell their parents.
True.
It's confidence. And if you know what, if kids feel loved and secure, it goes a long way to kind of a stability in the lives of these kids. I've had so many experiences with young people and the things that they've done. And how I had to deal with them or get them out of trouble. And these were young people.
And it crosses all the socioeconomic and class lines. It doesn't make any difference if you're working class, upper middle class, or very rich. The problems are all the same. Tolstoy said, all happy families are happy in the same way, but every unhappy family, every unhappy person is happy in an individual way, in their own. It's unique and it's unique and singular to that person or to that family.
I don't think that economics have anything to do with the security of the kids. I know many wealthy families whose children were destroyed by drugs And it started at a very, very early age.
Yeah, we just heard this morning that Demi Lovato, one of the music icons of today, overdosed. So it doesn't make any difference how much money you have or how much privilege.
Do you know what some of the kids have said to me, which I thought was interesting? They did things because they had a hole in their heart that needed to be filled, whether gambling, drugs, or sex. It was three things. And I remember kids coming to me even on Holy Friday, grabbing me after service, telling me that they owed a shyster a ton of money.
How old? At what age?
Middle teenagers.
Middle teenagers got into Shylocks?
They were gambling. They were gambling. And I had to do what I could to get those kids out of trouble.
How do you handle something like that?
Well, fortunately, I was able to get an older person who that kid believed in to cut some money and get the kid out of trouble and to get the kid into counseling.
Did his parents or her parents ever find out?
Later, once we got through the crisis.
You mean you got the money was paid before the parents ever found out?
Yeah.
That's one fortunate young person.
And I'm just thinking about it now. I have a couple of them.
And how did the parents handle it when they found out? What was their attitude toward the?
Nothing. Ho-hum. I thought they would be grateful to me that I got their kid out of trouble. They hardly said a word to me. It was expected that I was going to save their kids. I guess. They couldn't save their own kids, but I had to do it.
Was there any follow-up counseling for him, or I mean, you're talking about it. You're talking about a teenager.
This is why we had at St. George in Montreal. We had a counselor on staff, and I made those kids get counseling. First, it was Marty Sansenpour, and when she died, it was Carolyn Tappa.
Carolyn's doing a wonderful job. She's still there. She's doing a yeoman's job.
We have saved, through that service, a great many young lives. That's all I can say.
But I'm shocked that the reaction of the parents was so blasé. Was there any consequences to the person that?
No.
No consequences.
No consequences.
So he's not going to stay clean.
He went home, bump-a-dumpty-dump. But the kids thanked me for saving them.
Okay, but I mean, there has to be some consequence in order for there to be a lesson.
I don't really think they're going to stay, especially this. I know these kids, that not all of them are going to stay clean. They were sports gambling.
Whatever kind of gambling, I just can't imagine there being. I just can't imagine. I never did anything that crossed the line that my parents found out, that there wasn't some sort of consequence.
You know why?
No.
Your father was very present in your life. And you knew what lines you could cross or not.
Absolutely, there was no question.
And today, those lines are blurred. And we'll get on to the next one. Next session. Thank you. God bless.